Do you remember the first time you went swimming without water wings or without some kind of flotation device? That moment right before you either jumped into the deep end or into the lake off the dock, and you actually had to trust yourself that you were able to stay above water and keep yourself up to swim. What an amazing moment that is. What if you could harness that trust in yourself and bring it forward to today, into your relationships, into your careers, into challenges that you might be facing right now? How much different would that change how you move? That's what we're talking about in this video. So if that interests you, stick around. My name's Kerry. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we talk about all things mindset, motivation, and manifesting, and how to apply those to all the areas of your life to become the best version of you right across the board. If you're watching this video today, know that it's a sign that all of the things that you're hoping for, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and what you're hoping for and what you're wishing for and dreaming of is a lot closer than you think. So stick with it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to trust yourself and why you should, right? That's what this is. So we go back to that example of jumping in the pool. Think about anything. The first time you rode a bike, that those first few times you pedaled was terrifying. I mean, it was for me when I was a kid, right? As you're driving, it's all hanging on. You don't know if you're going to be able to make it or not. And the key on that is that, sure, you wobble a bit. Yeah, I wiped out, but I was okay for a while, right? And it goes back to just like the Wright brothers. Their first flight wasn't halfway across the globe. It was short, but it was enough that it's like, hey, we got something here. And if we work at it and we trust that we have that solution and we believe that it's there, look what they accomplished. So I'm going to go over some tips today to help you to really tap into that confidence that you have, how to gain that self-confidence, how to trust your intuition, what that means to you, and how it can help you be successful in your life. So first off is intuition, right? First off is self-awareness, and the self-awareness that you need to be able to kind of feel those things, and those, whether they're signs, whether it's that gut feeling, whether it's in your solar plexus, whether it's in, you feel it in your body somehow, but that awareness of emotion and what that means, where the triggers are, where it's coming from. And if you need a little support with that, fellas, you should look in the links below. I will link it. It's Man to Men, a group where it's about that emotional intelligence and about getting to know yourself, recognizing emotions, and how to navigate that and how to use it for your benefit. So look into the Man to Men group. But that's self-awareness, right? You've got to have that self-awareness to be able to recognize those feelings, those thoughts, where they're coming from and what they mean. And a lot of times it's those little feelings, like when you're sitting, at a traffic light and it's like, maybe I should just hesitate a little bit before I go. I don't know why, but you just hold off a little bit. And then the light turns green. And then all of a sudden, some car goes blowing through the red light. Being able to recognize those feelings, those are the things that it can help you out with in trusting yourself. So the next one is we talk about embracing intuition, right? Had a sneak preview there for a second. But it's about embracing the intuition, right? That's that inner guidance. That's that connection to your soul, your source, your heart, like knowing and trusting that the signs and the feelings that you get from that mean something. And I've gotten videos in the past where the difference is between knowing where that's in alignment with who you are and what you're looking for, and when it's out of fear or not in alignment, out of scarcity and lack. And that's important to recognize where those feelings are coming from. So, because if you take those feelings out of fear, well, sometimes that when we act out of fear and scarcity, it doesn't necessarily serve our best interests, right? We'll do things that are forced and just for the sake of getting it done or doing it, not really in alignment with the path where we're supposed to be. But when you're dialed in to who you are and you know that, yep, I got to do this. And what is it in your life? Whether it was asking someone out, whether it was a career change, whether it was just whether to wait to cross the road or to go, whether like all these little things, right? I'm sure you have examples in your life where you have had that moment where you're like, yeah, this is the right thing for me. This is what I got to do. So that's where trusting that inner guidance. And it's important to do that because if you can look back, I mean, I look back and connect the dots when I felt that nudge and it's been a negative, like, I don't know about this. And then other times where it's been like, hell yes, you're doing this. And I haven't necessarily followed the path where I was at that point. And I look back and I'm like, oh, like it's there. So being able to dial in and embrace that intuition is massive. So next that comes into that when we are embracing our inner guidance and that intuition, that strength that you have within, the first thing we need to that jumps up is that self-doubt, right? And so overcoming that self-doubt and where that comes from again is the awareness of realizing where those emotions are coming from, then embracing your intuition. And then when you doubt yourself, well, maybe I can't do this, I don't know, let's go back to the swimming example. What if I don't, what if I am not able to keep above water? I'm going to drown, I'm going to die. No, you gotta know that you're going to be okay, right? And you won't get that elation and joy and experience that you're hoping for and become the best version of yourself if you're not ready or you're not willing to push yourself out of that place where you are right now. And that's where overcoming self-doubt is a big part of where that's going to help you when you trust yourself. It'll really support you in overcoming that self-doubt in moving into those experiences and accomplishing those things that you really want to accomplish. So the next one on my list, right, of why you should trust yourself and how trusting your intuition really serves and supports you is in setting boundaries, right? It's about protecting your peace and knowing, what you're going to allow into your life and what you're going to participate in your life, right? You've got to honor yourself. You've got to honor your needs, your desires, what that means to you in every area again, right? Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, in career, relationship, like everything, right? Really trusting yourself that no, hanging out with that group of people, and partaking in what they're partaking in, that's not a good thing for me. Now that could be, on extremes of illegal activity or stuff like that, or just things that maybe aren't healthy for you. Maybe, smoking or drinking or stuff like that. Or maybe on the emotional and mental side of it, it's gossip. I mean, how many people do you hang around that just gossip and talk crap about people? That's equally as unhealthy as a lot of other things you can do. So it's about honoring who you are and how you want to show up in this world and being able to set those boundaries with that. Okay. Trust your intuition that if you got a bad feeling about someone, there's a reason why that's there. Right. And if you got a conversely, if you get a great feeling about someone, there's a reason why that's there too. Okay. So and that when you embrace those first four things that I just mentioned, it's going to really empower you in taking risks, right? Those things that you gauge as risky, riding a bike, jumping in the water, the first time without water wings. Maybe it's trusting that you've done the healing work in your heart to move into a relationship or date again or to love someone or to go into business after you've had a business that didn't end up well or a business partnership, trusting to go into business again, trusting yourself that you have the knowledge and the wisdom and the experience to be successful. It's really trusting yourself is going to empower you to take those risks. And from those risks is where you can challenge yourself again. It's where, the risks are calculated. Like, let's not, go jumping off 8-story buildings and say, I'm going to take a chance at this time, right? Like, we have to be reasonable here and taking in the consideration of what's there. But I mean, that's where your biggest opportunities for growth are going to come from, is taking those risks. So make sure you're embracing, those first things and adding taking risks to that list. And then as we do that, what's your batting average going to be on those? Is it going to be 1,000? Are you going to absolutely crush it a win every single time? I hope you do. I honestly hope you do. But speaking from my experience, I haven't. So there's going to be times when, we make mistakes or there's perceived failure, right? And when you have those moments, learn from them. They're so valuable. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What did I miss? Where could I have been better? And what am I going to change moving forward to make sure that that doesn't happen again? Right? Learn from those mistakes. They're so valuable. And when you trust that every mistake you make is important and it's a part of it's serving you on your growth and in your path to become the best version of you, those mistakes, it takes a little bit of the sting off. As much as they still, you can wipe out and the scars will still be there, but they don't sting as much or for near as long when you know that it's serving your best interest. Okay. All right. Next on my list is you have to practice self-compassion. So when you do make those mistakes, take it easy on yourself, right? The things that the things that we say to ourselves sometimes, if we heard someone else talk to another person how we talk to ourselves sometimes, we'd like step in and be ready to chuck knuckles, right? It's about really embracing and loving yourself and understanding that it's okay to make mistakes. That's where the growth comes from and everything. When you trust yourself, when you do make those mistakes and you do need to be a little more compassionate, hey, you know what? Everybody forgets sometimes. Everybody can make mistakes like that. I'm human. Like it's going to happen. That practicing that self-compassion, it really, when you trust your intuition in yourself, it really allows you to dig into that. And again, healing faster from mistakes, moving forward, being able to kind of dust yourself off, get back up and get right back at it. Right. So practicing self-compassion is big. There's videos that I've done about that as well. You can check that out. A couple more here before as we finish is building a support network, right? When you trust your intuition and that your judgment of character is solid, right? That you're going to build a support network of people that you can trust, people that trust you, and people that believe in you, right? That are going to honor you when you say, I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this. They'll support you with that. And I mean, and again, are you going to bat 1,000 at that? No. I've trusted people in my life that shouldn't have been trusted, didn't deserve it, but you know what I mean? Whatever. I've learned from that, right? You learn things about that experience. What are the signs that I saw that I ignored? And what are the things that I would look for in someone else, right? And when you do the work and through that, because there's been times when I've been burned and definitely trusted and I doubted my entire self of judge of character, like how can I trust anybody or this or that or and again, when you do the work, when you build that support network that trusts you and you trust them, and ultimately, like I said, they've got that trust in yourself, that it allows you to move forward from that, right? So it's that network that you build. All right. Now one left here, okay, which is when you trust yourself, it magnifies your resilience and your ability to be relentless in the pursuit of excellence. It exponentially magnifies it. So dig in, trust yourself, right? And you'll realize that you will go further than you ever thought you could. You will love deeper than you ever felt you could love. You will accomplish more than you ever thought you would when you have that resilience and that relentlessness, right? And that only comes from trusting that you can go down that path. And I think one of the biggest things that I've found in that resilience and relentlessness piece is that even if I do fall, and I go back to that, even if I do make a mistake and I do fall, whatever that looks like, I'm going to be okay. I've done the work. It's not going to hurt as much as I think it would, or as much as it may have before. And I'm going to recover even bigger and better and go further than I thought I would before that happened. So that's a big part of it. So that's what this is all about today. So I'd love for you to kind of just shooting from the hip a little more today, a little from the heart, and just sharing that I know that I've talked to so many people in the past week that just doubt themselves, their ability to do what they know how to do. And you can do it. You're strong enough, you're smart enough, you're quick enough, like you've got it. Trust yourself. So my call to action for you, what is that thing that you've been doubting yourself on? That thing you want to start, that thing you want to do. that maybe it's that conversation you want to have. Maybe it's a question you need to ask. Maybe it's something you need to start doing in your life, but you don't know if you can be consistent with it. Maybe it's something you need to stop doing in your life, but you don't know if you'll be able to cut that out or stop doing that. I I implore you and plead with you to trust yourself and do it. And you're going to surprise yourself. So I'd love for you to leave in the comments if what you think. You know what? Even just a thumbs up if you're going to make that move. Whether it's adding something in, taking something out, you don't have to pour your heart out in the comments. If you want to share something there, I mean, I would love it. I love some of the amazing comments in our community that we're getting, and such a great community that we've got here, and I appreciate your support. So, I mean, so going back, my message today: when you learn to trust yourself, it opens up a lot of doors in your life. And then some of the things I talked about with when you do trust yourself, that what it helps you with in becoming the best version of you. So thank you for joining me today. If you found value in this video, I invite you to like it, subscribe to the channel. I put out a new video every week, and it's about mindset, motivation, or manifesting. And I would love to hear any suggestions or ideas that you have for future videos, and because obviously I'm here to serve and share a part of my journey as well. By no means have I ever claimed to be at the finish line and standing on my soapbox preaching that I know it all, because I got a lot to learn. I've learned a lot, and I also got a lot to learn. So I'm willing to and just sharing my journey with you as we go. So if this video resonated with you, you found some value in it, you can watch one of these two videos that are popping up on the screen right now, because they're about mindset, motivation, and manifesting as well. And again, thank you so much for every moment that we share together. I'm grateful for it. And until the next video, as always, sending peace, love, and positive vibes your way.